Who that nation? Y'all know what this is, right? We know what that is. We're tired of it. If the New Orleans Saints can minimize these to like 2 the entire game, we'll win. I mean that. If the New Orleans Saints don't win this game this weekend versus the Bayou Bengals, that's right, the Cincinnati Tigers. The Cincinnati Tigers, full of New Orleans Saints players, full of ex-New Orleans Saints players, full of ex-LSU standouts. They'll have about 10,000 people in the crowd rooting for them. But can someone out there in WHODAT Nation please help me with this one? Is it me, or does it always seem like LSU players that came from LSU absolutely destroy the Saints every time they get an opportunity? It's like they get an extra level of, My theory is, since they went to LSU and they grew up probably watching the Saints be a losing franchise, when you finally get up there to that level and you play for the team you grew up rooting for that by chance sucked for the most part, then guess what? These players get up to play the Saints. They go extra to play New Orleans. Jamar Chase, I wouldn't be surprised if he had 150 yards or more. Would not surprise me. So get your Marshawn Lattimore excuses ready if he plays. I'm not sure if Marshawn is playing yet. I'll have to check the injury report later this week. But I'm just saying, Jamar Chase is probably going to have 150 yards on us, minimum. Joe Burrow. Now, y'all know Joe Burrow is going to pick us apart. Joe Burrow is a great litmus test for my defense. Joe Burrow is going to let us know if this defense is a championship defense or a pretending defense. I know we're beat up, but part of our charm of the previous Saints defensive teams was that rotation. We had 5 or 6, 7 defensive backs that you can depend on. 4 or 5 linebackers that you could rotate. Not to mention our D-line, you had another 2 or 3 guys who were rotating. Except for Cam. Cam never likes to come out of the game. But the point is this. Joe Burrow, even though his line is weak, probably one of the top or bottom 5 offensive lines in the league. Absolutely amazing. I think the Saints will have their most sacks of the year this game against Cincinnati. If you don't get at least 4 sacks in this game, New Orleans, it's not a good sign. We need at least 4 sacks, 2 penalties maximum the entire game, 1 turnover. If we can do that, we can beat Cincinnati. If we don't do that, it's over. So let's do hypothetical. Let's say the Saints lose this game. Let's say the Saints lose this game and now our record is what? 2-4. If the Saints lose this game, our record would be 2-4. First off, we are on playoff child support. No, not child support. We are on playoff life support. right now. We are on playoff life support right now. If we go 2-4, if we lose this game and we are 2-4, that's 6 games. That leaves us with 11 games for the remainder of the season. Do y'all think the Saints can go 11-0? No. That'll be 13 wins. Do y'all think we can go 10-1? That's 12 wins. Okay? Do y'all think we can go, how about 9-2? Can we go 9-2? No. I don't think we can go 9-2. I think the Saints can go, realistically, 8-3 if we lose this game this weekend. But let's speak positive. Let's speak this into existence. The Saints will win this game. I'm putting it out there in the ether. The Saints will win this game. I think the Saints will win a close one. 27-26. New Orleans will win by 1 point. And I think Andy Dalton will start. And I think that Pete Carmichael will do everything he can to make sure that Taysom Hill touches the ball at least 10 to 15 times. And Alvin Kamara needs to touch the ball, whether it's receiving, running, however you want to play it. Alvin Kamara needs to have the ball in his hand at least 20 to 25 times. It could be 15 rushes. It could be 10 completions. Now, I know 10 completions is a lot, but how about 10 targets? So 10 targets, at least 6 or 7 completions from Kamara. That can easily happen. That's not asking for too much. And when the defense starts cheating up and paying more attention to Alvin Kamara, that's when you get to open up your offense a little bit more. But I want to hit on a problem here. If we don't have Chris Olave in the lineup this weekend, I don't see how we're going to win, because now Marquez Callaway, who I like, Marquez Callaway is growing on me. He's a great receiver. He is dependable. He's not going to try to do too much. He's not going to fumble in the fourth quarter. I mean, he still could, but he just doesn't give me that vibe. Like Deontay Hardy was always the guy, like I knew in a split second, he could turn a 10-yard play to a 60-yard play. And you have to watch him. But he always made me cringe. Deontay Hardy made me cringe every time he ran the ball. I had this feeling like, man, this guy could fumble the football. I don't have that feeling with Marquez Callaway, who's now returning our punts, and he's now returning our kickoffs. And maybe he'll split that with Taysom Hill. But I like Marquez Callaway as a number 2. And I like Chris Olave as our number 1. With that setup, I think we can still keep up. We can keep up with Cincinnati. Now, Cincinnati has some injuries on their O-line. I'm not about to start talking about the names, but anytime you talk about Cincinnati and their O-line, the last thing that Cincinnati fans want to hear is injuries on the O-line. Even when healthy, they're suspect. So that's a good sign for New Orleans. That is a good sign for the Saints. That's an absolute great sign for the Saints. Let's get in there and let's blitz these boys, man. Don't give Joe Burrow all day to throw. I would rather see us get beat on the slant, the 7 to 10 yard slants, than Joe Burrow having all day back there, and the post route is killing us. I will continue to say this. Teams know to throw it deep at least 3 or 4 times a game on Marshawn Lattimore and hope for the flag, because 9 times out of 10, okay, maybe not 9 times out of 10, but there's a strong chance if you throw the ball deep on Marshawn, especially on third down, that you're going to get a flag. He's physical, he's emotional, he's up in your face, and it works for him. Boy's a 4 or 5 time Pro Bowler. He's a monster out there. But sometimes that monster doesn't look so monstrous. Sometimes he gets beat. Sometimes he make plays that I look at and say, well, that was a mental error. Why would you retaliate against a guy who, yes, was wrong for pushing you, but you know when you push them back, the referee always catches the second person. And you know this. You are a veteran. Now, that scares me with Marshawn, and the third down deep ball scares me with Marshawn. That's all I have today. I just hope we go out here and win this game, because we cannot afford to go 2-4 with that brutal schedule. If we go 3, did I say 2-4? Yeah, 2-4. If we manage to win this game and our record is 3-3, if we can somehow win this game and go 3-3 on the season, now you don't have to go 11-1 or 11-0, 10-1, 9-2 over the next 11 games. You can simply go, let's say, something reasonable, 8-3, right? You go 8-3, that'll give you 11 wins. Okay, fine. What if you don't get 11 wins? What if the Saints hypothetically go 10 and, nope, not 10, I'm sorry, I'm going the wrong way, 7-4. I think the New Orleans Saints, if we can find a way to go 3-3 this weekend after beating Cincinnati, if we can find a way to go 3-3, I think we can go 7-4. And I think we can win 10 games. We get Trevor Penning back. We start to get a little bit healthier. I mean, I'm not depending on Trevor Penning, but if he's coming back around week 10-ish, let's just say 2 weeks after he comes back, it takes him a couple of weeks to get back into the flow. That puts us around week 12, worst case scenario, week 12. So we still have week 12. We have 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18 weeks. That's 6 games. Playoff run. We're going to need him. That's huge. I'm looking forward to Trevor coming back. So if we can find a way to just win this game, this is a must-win game. It wouldn't be a must-win if we were 3-2. If the Saints were 3-2, like we should be, maybe we should, in some retrospects, be 4-1. Some people say we could be 1-4. However you want to look at it, my point is, if we can find a way to go 3-3, I think over the last 11 games of the season, it's not out of the question to say that New Orleans Saints can go 7-4 in their remaining 11 games, and that'll put them at 10 wins. I think that's very possible. All right. That's all I have today. I just wanted to get that off my chest. Who that nation? Thank y'all for spending time with me. That's all I have. Who that rant? And I'm out.